Our final mathematical operation out of the four is the division. So how does division work? Basically, if we do a over b divided by c over d, what is going to happen, let's just get rid of this, is we need to keep the first fraction, a over b, we need to change the divide sign to times, and we need to invert or flip or find the reciprocal of the second fraction and then multiply the result, which would give us AD over BC. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Now we've already got a method to do this, and we've got a method to do this. We've got the multiply method for that, and we've got reciprocal for that. So if we go back to fraction, you can see that we've got reciprocal, which flips our fraction upside down. So with that in mind, now that we've got our fraction, the first thing we need to do is flip the second fraction upside down, and that is b. So we can do b dot reciprocal. Okay, so let's flip the second fraction upside down, and then all we need to do is multiply the two fractions together. So we can just type mult a and b, and there's my job done, and the result will be printed out. Now let's go back to the main program and test it, and I've got one sort of change, a couple I can see. First of all, I've got to change that for div, for divide, and then if I'm going to divide a half by 3/4, I need to swap those round so that they're in the correct order, because it doesn't matter what order we do it in. So a half divided by 3/4 is going to be what? So if I have 1/2 divided by 3/4, so that's going to be times 4 over 3, so my result is going to be 4 over 6, he hopes. So let's just run that and see what happens. And we don't seem to have a correct answer. So let's just see what's happened there. If we multiply it, we must capture the answer. There we go. Let's try that again. 4 over 6, which is what I said, and it's automatically converted it to the lowest form. I do have a problem. So let's go back and see what the problem is. So I'm printing F. Let's print F2. So system dot out dot print line F2. Let's run that one again, and we'll see what happens. So result was correct with 2/3. However, when we printed out F2, it found, or it printed out the reciprocal of it. So this wasn't maintained. We sent in 3/4, but the 3/4 was changed inside our program when we did this line, when we found the reciprocal. Now that is incorrect. We really want to maintain our fractions a and b as they were when they came in. We don't want them changed in a global sense. We just want to manage it sort of locally. This is going to happen because items are being passed by reference, and the reference is changing here, and so the global reference is also changed. The only thing we can do in this sense is to find the reciprocal again, and that should cure our problem. So in other words, it finds the reciprocal, does the multiplication, and then prints out the reciprocal. So if I run it this time, if we go back to data types, we've got 2/3 as the answer, which is what I expected, and the fraction hasn't been changed. It is still the same one. The only times these fractions are going to change is if we send in a value such as 6/8, it's going to give it to us in the lowest form, which is not really changing what the fraction is. There we go, it's come out as 3/4 again, which is what we wanted. But certainly we don't want the reciprocal to change our original fraction in that operation. So now we've got the 4 operations. Now we need to really test these 4 operations to find out whether they work all the time, or if there's some issues with 1 or 2 of them, which I know there is, and usually it's with subtraction and division. So we will take a look at those in another video.